everybody, this is Gregory with 5 Minute Catholic Apologetics, where 5 minutes of your time may get you to the divine. Today we're going to talk about the one group that I dislike the most. Now before I begin, let's start with a prayer. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritui Sancti. Amen. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto, succuteram principio et nunc et semper et seculi seculorum. Amen. Now you might be surprised, because you're going to think that the number one group I dislike, so hate's a strong word, hate is a sin, we're not supposed to hate. Now we can have righteous anger, but we're really not supposed to hate anybody. But you're probably going to think that I'm going to say Protestants, or schismatics like the Orthodox, or the cults like the Jehovah's or the Mormons. But no, I don't. The number one group that I dislike the most is poor Catholic leadership. Poor Catholic leadership. Why is that? Why do I not say Protestants? Well, because look, I mean, as I've talked about, just because I'm Catholic, I don't think all Catholics are going to heaven. Just because I'm not a Protestant, I'm a Catholic apologist, amateur Catholic apologist, I think all Protestants are going to hell because they're Protestants. No, the church has never taught that. I don't believe that. And there are good Protestants who practice their faith at the best that they can. Now, I would say, of course, the fullness of the faith is in the Catholic Church. You have a larger Bible, you have the sacraments, all these things that optimize your chances to go into heaven and also give you a more meaningful Christian life. You have more resources at your disposal. But I'm not going to say that it's Protestants, all Protestants are going to hell. Now, of course, you're going to find people on the Catholic right who would disagree with me, but that's neither here nor there. Now, a lot of Protestants do have invincible ignorance, and a lot of them choose to believe misconceptions and lies about the church, and it's so ingrained in them. It's unfathomable. They can never give true consent to ever going to Catholic Church. But either way, it's not them. It's bad Catholic leadership. In particular, it's going to be bad bishops and bad Catholic universities. Most of you guys know that the Catholic universities in America are Catholic in name only. I mean, you can say this about a much growing percentage of Catholic high schools in America as well, that they're just Catholic in name only. I mean, if you look at Notre Dame, you look at Boston College, Georgetown, Catholic in name only. I mean, for sure, these universities embrace very, I would say, radical left views on the social topics, the social issues. So they will all have LGBTQ groups there. They'll support abortion or have pro-abortion speakers. They'll have things that would be very openly contrarian to the Catholic faith and to positive faith, and undermining dogmatic beliefs and so forth. So I would say it's poor leadership. So if you look like at COVID, like how many bishops stood up and kept all their churches open? Not a lot. Or at least to try to defy civil authorities or have outdoor masses or anything like that. They didn't do that. You look at recently, there's that high school in Boston that invited the Department of Education head, who's a Catholic in name only, to speak. And he's avowedly pro-choice. Now, why would a Catholic high school do that? Or when Notre Dame invited President Obama to speak, these people are avowedly formal heretics in that, and we have the episode on the difference between material and formal heretics, they openly accept teachings that are contrary to the Catholic faith, normally in social teachings, but in other teachings as well. So where are the bishops saying, no, this is unacceptable? Where are the bishops calling out Biden, Pelosi, and all these Catholics and civil authority, saying that they're formal heretics and cannot receive the Eucharist? Where are they? Now, we can work up the ladder, we can work down the ladder, we can work up the ladder and go to the Curia, we can even go to the Pope. I have some episodes here that are somewhat critical of the Pope. We can go work our way down to priests who are pusillanimous and coward, or they're just open change agents and don't embrace the true teachings of the church. I have an episode here, the number one trait that a priest must have is, I don't care about their personality, it's whether or not they're Orthodox, whether or not they are 100% the teaching of the church. And so why do I dislike poor Catholic leadership the most? It's because, especially in the clergy, it's because they made a vow in front of God to maintain the teachings of the faith. They made a vow to do that. And so they'll go against that vow. They're the shepherds, and we know that they have a harder, a tougher punishment. Christ is very clear about that. Wrap the millstone around the neck, right? So they are the shepherds. They are held to a higher standard. So when you see these priests, these bishops, or heads of universities who are Catholic, or the board of directors of a Catholic high school, or whatever Catholic leadership it is, civil or ecclesiastical, and when they openly accept speakers or clubs or beliefs, or just straight it open. There was that cardinal that said that the church's view on homosexual weddings, homosexual marriage, is outdated. I mean, when these people speak up, it's a grievous offense. And I get mad at them because they are formal heretics. They're not material heretics, okay? They are formal heretics. I get mad at them for having that belief, but I also get mad at the leadership above them who doesn't do anything about it. And certainly you can apply this to the sex abuse scandals as well. But the clergy above them, or the leadership above them, who doesn't denounce them and excommunicate them. If you read, and go to the episode I did on the 5 themes running through the New Testament, St. Paul is very clear. He excommunicates people all the time, in particular the most famous one is in Corinthians, but he excommunicates people that he says bring scandal. If there's any among you in the church that are bringing scandal, kick them out. And actually, excommunication is actually an act of love, because by kicking them out and banishing them, you're hoping that they're going to wake up like the prodigal son and come back to the fold. But it's actually an act of love. And now we live in a modern world where we don't kick out scandal of any type. And look, if any Protestants listen, you can say this about your own Lutheran Church or the PCA, United Methodist, any of the national organizations. They're having their own problems with the social teachings. But they too, they should not be allowing scandal of whatever type, especially things that are openly against the deposit of faith. And most of the Protestant entities, like Southern Baptist or PCA or United Methodist or whatever, they have pretty staunch teachings on, let's say, gay homosexual marriage or whatever it is. It's the same thing. You should expect the same from your leadership, Protestant, Lutheran, Presbyterian, whatever you are, that they will come out and call out the people that are bringing scandal to the children and being openly against the deposit of faith. You should want that too. So we should all want that from our leadership. We should expect higher standards, and we should expect orthodoxy from our leadership, whether you're a Catholic or you're Protestant or wherever you're at. So this is the #1 group that drives me crazy. Guys, post in the comments. I'd like to hear from you. What's the #1 group that drives you crazy? I'd like to hear from you. Please share, hit the notification and subscribe button, share with other people. Until next time, take care. God bless and pray.